You can use your gifts and talents while you are in setback because you need the tools to prepare for when you exit setback. But you may be prevented fully or limited to only utilizing those tools in setback until you dig and claw your way back. People make decisions based on their immediate needs and wants and not based on the long-term impact and lifelong vision. They make lifetime decisions for a temporary short-term circumstance. So some people get into a setback, or they are forced into a setback because of their decision making. And so instead of working their way to, getting out of it, they have just made peace with the idea that this is all it's going to be. The Martian is the best example of being in a setback, and Matt Damon's character saying, I'm not going to die here. I'm not staying here. I'm not going to die here. He had messed up in not adhering to the instruction of the NASA captain person or whatever. She was trying to tell them it's time to go, and he was saying, well, we can stay here and finish this, when she was in charge. And so he missed an instruction, and which resulted in him having to stay behind on Mars, right? And so then he began to make the best of his situation, and he was able to grow potatoes and listen to music and plot his way. Just trying to understand the situation, right? But then there came a time when he was in the doorway of what looks like a doorway in that situation, and he says, "I'm not dying here. I'm not staying here," basically, right? And so then he began to plot his way out of that setback. He could use his gifts and talents while he was in that setback to get him out, but he could not fully use them because he wasn't on Earth. Now, he was able to send data and information and things like that, and you could say, well, that's using your gifts and talents. But he can't fully, but he was limited to where he was. Because the gifts and talents are going to express themselves. They have to. Even if you try to ignore them, something in you will pull it out and talk it out and process it out. But you can use your gifts and talents while you are in setback because you need the tools to prepare for when you exit setback. Meaning that with the Martian, he needed to tap into his educational background, his gifts and talents, and skill development to begin plotting his way out of that setback, out of that pod thing to the rocket or whatever, and to space, and then back to their main location. I don't know what the terminology is, but he could only truly utilize his gifts and talents once he got back to Earth, and he began teaching and fully telling you what's going on and what happened and things like that. So he was prevented from basically fully using those gifts and talents because he had made a mistake in not adhering to instruction, which created a setback. And so in some ways, he was making a lifetime decision for a temporary short-term circumstance. It was storms on Mars, and the captain or lieutenant, I don't know, was telling them, let's go, and he was trying to say, wait, but the captain is telling you that there is a problem, let's go. And so if he hadn't gotten the courage and said to himself and said, okay, I can't stay here anymore, then he would have been there forever. So it's important about the decisions that you make, because you can make something, you can think you are making a right decision, and then it end up to your detriment. So you want to be sure about that. I think that was a very good movie and very good example to use here.